distribute, you need to know what the rule is about. So A times the quantity B plus C is equal to A times B plus A times C. So when you're asked to distribute, you can have negative 3 times x plus 4, and you would distribute the negative 3 to the x and have negative 3x plus negative 3 times 4. And you'd end up with negative 3x plus negative 12. Doing a positive, you could have 2x plus 5. Distribute the 2 to the x and the 2 to the 5. So you have 2 times x plus 2 times 5, which is equal to 2x plus 10. And so you have distributed the 2. You might be asked to factor. To factor, you will be given a problem such as 3x plus 12. You look at a common factor in both terms. We see that 3 is a common factor, so we take that out, parentheses. 3 times x is 3x, plus 3 times 4 is 12. And we have factored this problem. You might also be asked to simplify a problem such as 5 times the quantity x plus 3 minus 1. You distribute the 5 times x plus, and 5 times 3 is 15 minus 1. Then you combine like terms, and 15 minus 1 is 14, and there you have your simplification. Now another thing that you need to learn is adding negative numbers. So if you were asked to add a negative and a negative, the rule is to add and keep the negative sign. For example, let's say you lose $5 and then you lose another $3. So altogether you have lost $8. The next rule is having a negative plus a positive. The rule is to subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. And we're speaking absolute value of the larger number. So if you have something like negative 8 plus 1, the absolute value of negative 8 is 8. So you will subtract 1 from 8 and get 7, and the larger absolute value is 8, so you choose the negative. So what this means, if you spent $8 and somebody gave you $1 back, then you only have lost $7. The last thing we're going to talk about is subtracting integers. If you have something like a negative 2 minus 3, or we can just say a negative 2 and a negative 3, you will be doing keep, change, change. So you're going to keep the first sign, change the second sign, and the third sign, which is a positive 3, you'll change that to negative. Then you can follow your rule for having two negatives. You add and keep the negative sign. Another example for keep, change, change. We could have 5 minus 3. Well, you know that's 2, but you still can do keep, change, change on it. Because 5 minus 3 is the same as saying 5 plus negative 3, which happens to be 2. Subtract and keep the sign of the larger. So please refer back to this constantly so you know your rules. They're very important. And for now, the end.